Hey everyone, and thank you for tuning in to my SoundPaint podcast. SoundPaint was a concept I created about 10 years ago with the goal to be rooted in a safe community for musicians seeking music education from an angle of just wanting to explore and enjoy music and sound and grow together in their skill and ability. I also feel very strongly about the connection between art and music. It is my love and passion to read different physics studies and explore the correlation between sound waves and light waves. Light waves, which, when broken down, are basically the colors that we see. I love the idea of approaching writing music with color in mind. That is a huge source of my inspiration when I play. With that in mind, I think you get the reason why I call this project SoundPaint. As we go along, I'll be describing what I'm doing as much as possible for everyone listening in without the video. If you are interested in seeing what I'm doing, as well as listening, you can catch me on YouTube. The link for this episode will be listed below. Or if you yourself are interested in learning music and want to check out any of my music courses online, you can find my website at www.soundpaintacademy.com. I'm always adding new courses, and I'm always open to hearing new ideas for courses that you might like to try out. Here we go now. Okay. Happy podcast day, wherever you are, whenever you are, whatever year you are. Maybe you're a time traveler. That would be cool. Let me know if you're a time traveler. All right, we're being silly. So anyways, today, I want to just go back to where we really got into sound waves, and it's the summertime still. Again, unless you're watching this in the winter, other seasons. But right now, when this is filmed, it is the summertime, and I was thinking about sound waves and synthesis, and we're going to dive back in because it's been too long. It's been a minute. And I miss them. You know, like I've said before, I can just go on and on about that. So there's so much to play with here. I have my analog instrument. What are we going to do with this analog instrument is the question, really. What can we not do? We could do everything with this, honestly. I'm going to show you just as it is what the sound is, where we're at with the sound. My CPU is holding out. It's been a problem the past couple of weeks. I think it really just comes down to I need a new computer, but we are a ways off from that truck stop. So here's the sound. I don't know, I like that. It has character. It's like if you were going to draw a character, what would this character look like? Silly. I don't know. I'm imagining like a little fluffy Martian, like, you know, if you've ever seen like Garfield, like a little purple.
Greetings, people of Earth. We come in peace. Take me to your leader.
That's just what came to mind. I don't think about it often. I really don't. But anyways, right now, let's examine what we have. We have in oscillator 1, we have a sawtooth wave. So we actually have two very contrasting waves here. We have a sine wave and a sawtooth wave. I'm actually going to shut off oscillator 2 because I want you to listen to the sawtooth wave just by itself. We have a couple other things going on in here. I have the octave at -1, meaning I'm hitting this, but you're actually hearing it an octave lower. Like right now, this C and a little bit of B. This C is an octave lower than I'm hitting. Right now, this is middle C, technically where I'm hitting it, but you're hearing it 8 notes lower than that. So if I change it, I'm not going to change my location of where I'm hitting, but I'm going to go bump it up an octave to 0. Now that's middle C. You're hearing middle C and I'm hitting middle C. But I kind of like it set an octave lower. It's not any semitone off. So there are dials way over here. If I hit a note, most keyboards have this, and what you can do is you can hit the note and then you can like pull it down by as many semitones as you want, or you can push it up. So right now I'm going to pull it down and I'm going to manually bend the note. Went up a little bit there. Now I'm going to push it up. So if I don't want to manually manipulate the semitones, I can just set it to be a semitone down or a semitone up. I think I'm going to do down because I actually like the sound of things being a little flat than a little sharp. It's actually the opposite of what most people experience, but that's just me. And it's detuned a bit, which is a little bit, you could think of it kind of the same thing. I don't know if I like that as much. I like that better. I'm in a picky mood. I'm in a weird place. It's okay. You want to be picky when you're making music. I'm now going to shut oscillator 1 off and I'm going to put oscillator 2 on so you can hear that sine wave. See, remember I said very contrasting sounds, and this is a very contrasting sound. All right, and this is all set to 0. Kind of want to keep it that way. So when they're both turned on, here's the challenge. I want you to hear or see if you can hear both. I'm going to give you both separate one more time. Here's the sine wave. Here's the sawtooth. Here's both together. Try to listen and identify the two separate sounds together. Can you hear it? Oh, I'm going to hold that out. I want you to hear that. I guess it gets kind of annoying if you just hold it out. But I'm going to play something and I want you to listen, but I want you to listen as if it's like a 3-dimensional space. I know last week we were talking about 5-dimensional spaces, and I'm not playing with my Rolly today. I am on my Arturia Key Lab. But I want you to close your eyes. And as I play this, I want you to think that you're in a room with these two notes and they just exist in this room, these two waves, this sawtooth wave and this sine wave, and they're just kind of bouncing back and forth. But like imagine that like you could see them and you could touch them. And I want you to listen to what I'm playing as if you're looking and observing with your eyes. You're looking at two separate entities. Okay? So this is going to be fun. Ooh, it's getting low down there. I kind of like it. Maybe not that low. Actually, I'm going to put on my spectrum instrument. We're going to watch and see in terms of hertz and the frequency and see if it's peaking and it's getting to be too much. Okay. So if you've seen past episodes where we were using this, you know that the left side is the low end. And the height, that's called the amplitude. So left side, low notes. Right side, opposite, high notes. It's really loud. I hope you didn't have that turned up in your ears. So right side is the higher frequencies. So left to right indicates the frequency. Low to high, up and down, that verticalness, that's the amplitude. That's how loud it is. So I can actually turn that down. Turn it down to -4. Okay, so this is really cool. If you can see, and again, I apologize if you're just listening to this, but you should know by now that we look at a lot of things on this. So check out my YouTube podcast if you want to see what we're looking at. But on the spectrum meter, we have something called a fundamental. And you can really see the fundamental. The fundamental is like think of it like the core of the sound, and everything coming off after that. Those are like harmonics bouncing off the sound. The initial needle that you see all the way over on the left, that's the fundamental. And everything that is happening after it is a harmonic, like almost think of it as like a shadow of the core fundamental. So you can see how it like tapers off and it tapers down, but the fundamental is the tallest one. It always will be the tallest one. And you don't want that to be out of control. So for anybody who does their own mixing or mastering, that this is an excellent tool to watch your levels and adjust accordingly. I just like those low sounds. Are you listening to the sine wave and the sawtooth wave? Can you still hear where the two exist? And they're separate, but together they make this sound. I hope you like that. I think I'm just going to play stuff. I'm just going to go back to making more stuff. So, a couple things before we end this. I know it's shorter than normal. I'm trying to get back to doing shorter ones because I want this to be in nice bite-sized pieces for everybody. But it's the summertime. I know you got things to do. So I want to keep this short and sweet and palatable. But I do have 2 announcements to make. First announcement, I will be on break from podcasting because next week I will be off enjoying the summer. And I hope you guys are enjoying your summer too. If not, take a day, take a week, just enjoy yourself, listen to some music, get outside. I mean, get some vitamin D. It's amazing what some vitamin D can do to your emotional status. It's wonderful. It really is. I mean, honestly, same as music. I don't think it's necessarily vitamin D you're getting, but it feeds your soul and you need that on like a daily basis. Seriously. Second announcement. So no podcast next Saturday. However, Saturday, I will be recording live with somebody who actually had a great impact on me, and he has a podcast. And we got to talking, and I'm going to be featured on his podcast August 20th at 6:00 Eastern Time. The name of his show is Music Matters with Jason Tramm. He was actually a professor of mine back when I went to Seton Hall, and he was just a really great professor. One of those professors that gives you perspective and kind of shapes, in a way, a direction you go. So if you want to check me out live on his show, check out his YouTube channel. He's got some pretty great stuff. A lot of let's get back to valuing music and exploring why it's so important. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, or whatever time frame it is where you're listening at. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.